Hey, it's been a while, and I have actually already recorded this once, like a couple weeks ago. I went to edit it, nothing was there. So I'm gonna try this again. Hello, welcome to my channel if you're new. I'm Taya. And yeah, I'm going to be doing my hair today. I'm going to talk about where I've been, wedding planning, all fun things. This is like my post-engagement chit chat. So let's get started on my hair. It is freshly washed. If I can take this bandana off. And I just put my leave-in conditioner, same leave-in that I always use. So I just put in my conditioner, and then I am just going to twist up my hair like I usually do. I am doing a new product today. So I'm going to use the doux mousse. I have used this before on my channel. I liked it for the rod set, but I didn't want to accumulate like just a ton of products in my life. So I think I returned it. I think, if memory serves me right. But yeah, we're trying it again because I didn't do it on a twist out, I don't think. And so that's what I'm going to be doing today. Like, before I get into it, I did get engaged. But yeah, I got engaged, and now I'm actually going to take my ring off because I've read all these things, and it's like, there's lots of rules apparently on when you actually should and should not be wearing your ring. And because it's new, I'm not gonna try to, damage it or shorten that lifespan any more than necessary. But let's chat. So I did get engaged. I got engaged what feels like yesterday. It is not yesterday. Let's start with this much news. I remember I feel like I liked this product like wet more than I liked it when it dried. So, but I don't think I layered it. So we are layering it this time. And I'm just twisting my hair up like normal. Nothing super special there. But yeah, last time I posted or you saw anything about my life, it was a vlog. It was a very boring week in my life. I actually got a really, really bad haircut, ironically. And that's part of the reason too why I haven't done like a sit down, is because I have just been wearing my hair in twists. Twists are the best thing that I know to grow my hair because, and I have a whole video about like hair growth and things like that. But one of the main reasons why twists work so well for me is because I know how to do them and it's really easy for me. So I've just been doing a lot of twists. It was also really humid in Texas, so didn't want to fuss with my hair. But yeah, so I got a really bad haircut, and then like I think the day after I got engaged, and I don't think I shared really like that much about my engagement. So I did want to share a little bit about it. So yeah, it was a pretty like normal day. It was a beautiful day. So I decided to like take myself on a little solo date. I got food, all the things. And he was supposed to be working that day. Usually he has to work weekends, just based on his schedule. And so I went by myself, and we like share locations, not in a creepy way, but just cause like the ease. I share locations with like most of the people in my life. And so he was like, oh, like you're at the lake. And I was like, yeah, it's really beautiful and everything. And he was like, well, I got off early. Can I join you? And so he surprised me at the lake, which was really exciting and cute. And so we had a good time. We walked around. It was like spring, so it was a bunch of like ducklings, and it was just a really beautiful day. And so he surprised me at the lake, and then it was like super packed, and he was like, oh, like, why don't we go grab food? And we actually went to this one spot that's where we had like our first date. That curl definition is so good. 1 second. So I was getting a little suspicious, to be honest. As soon as he said that and he wanted to leave, I was like, that's weird. Mind you, he really wanted to surprise me. And because I had just gone by myself, I had like no makeup. I had this horrible haircut. So there definitely was an element of surprise. I was not looking my best. Oh, that was also it. Of course, because, you debrief after the proposal. And so I was like, why would you have us like leave that one late just to go to this other one? And he was like, well, because I know you wanted like a private proposal. And so that was one of the things I had told him. I was like, I don't like a ton of people. I'm relatively like introverted and shy. So I don't want there to be people around really when you do it. So all of that to say, we went to a different location. He stalled. We walked around there a little bit. And then we like turned the corner and he got down on one knee. He said a bunch of really sweet things because I also wanted a speech. I'm sounding kind of particular, but I also wanted a speech. I was like, it's really sweet when men are just like, will you marry me? But me, I'm like, I want to hear why you want to spend the rest of your life with me. So that was really sweet. He proposed at sunset, and yeah, then we just had dinner, and he worked the next day. I think he was on call or working nights or something. So he worked the next day. So that was my engagement. And then after that, life has just been moving like a mile a minute. So let's see, that happened. And then that was like towards like late April. And then I had a work trip. I participated in a Habitat build in Atlanta. It was Habitat's 50th anniversary. So that was really exciting to participate in. And then straight from that, I actually decided to go to California and surprise my mom for Mother's Day. I literally was leaving Atlanta and I was like, wait, what am I getting my mom for Mother's Day? And I couldn't think of anything. And so I was like, I guess I'll just go and surprise her. So that was really sweet. My brother picked me up. And it was really nice to spend some time with her. We also got to see a wedding venue. So I knew that I wanted to do my wedding in California. And so just by chance, we were able to tour a wedding venue and it ended up being the one that I chose. So I have a wedding venue, I have a date. And so that was really exciting and special. It was cool that we got to share that moment together, and just like the randomness and sporadic nature of it all was pretty exciting. And then after that, we went to Chicago for a couples trip. So we had never been to Chicago together. So that was really nice. We don't take a ton of couples trips just between both of our schedules. So that was really nice to spend some quality time together. And then after that, we actually decided to take the train to Minnesota to celebrate his grandmother's 80th birthday. That was very exciting. It was my first time meeting like his full extended family, but they were really sweet. They welcomed me with open arms. And yeah, we had a really good time. That was also my first like Nigerian party. So my fiance is Nigerian American. And so that was really cool. I had like the gele and all of those things. People were very excited to like meet me, and so that was kind of a lot for me since I am a little bit more reserved, but they're really excited. And yeah, then I came back from that, had another work trip in Nashville, then had another trip to California for a bridal shower, went to Miami to see my dad. So it's just been, life has been moving just like a mile a minute. And I'm incredibly grateful for it all. In terms of like wedding stuff, I am starting to wedding plan. So I figured my whole life and my type A personality has just prepared me to be able to plan my own wedding. So we're actually having two weddings. So we'll have our like American wedding or our white wedding. And then we will have our like larger trad Nigerian wedding. And that one will be in Minnesota, probably in like June of next year. And then our American or white wedding, sorry, my hair, one second. Sorry, my hair was all tangled up in that and I didn't want to bald myself being impatient. But as I was saying, we will have like our white or American wedding in September of next year. So that's exciting. I have picked out our venue, so that's great. We are currently working on guest lists because since we're doing two, the American one in California will be like mainly friends. I'm sorry, I misspeak. Mainly family, like a couple of friends, like really just like family. Next steps for me, I need to schedule our premarital counseling because I think that's really important. And then I also need to do our engagement photos. So I need to find a photographer, and here in Texas, it is 100 degrees for the next 10 days and probably the foreseeable future until we hit fall. So I am aiming to take our photos in the fall when it starts to cool down. Ideally, we can take them at the Arboretum. I just think that's a beautiful space to take our photos at. It's one of the places that I actually was considering for our venue, so I think it would be cool to have some element of that in our wedding, even if that's just as our engagement photos. So I'm working on that. But for anyone that is planning a wedding, has gotten married after COVID, the prices are astronomical. It's a house. It's like a house. And so that's why we're going really small on the American one, just because to me it sounds crazy to spend $100,000 plus on a party. To me that just sounds ridiculous. So we're going small for that one. And then yeah, so I will do those next. We'll probably do digital invites, and then I do need to go dress shopping. I do want to record that. I don't know if it'll be a vlog, but I do at least want to record it, put some clips in. So yeah, that's all things wedding planning. So that's really exciting. I am going to finish off the rest of these twists, and when I get to the front of my hair, I will check in. Alrighty, y'all, I'm back. Put these twists in. The twists are giving a little boneless, which I guess okay, but that's weird, right? And by that I just mean it will probably hopefully be super defined. I did my twists how I usually do them, in the same sections that I always do my hair, so it just feels like it's a little flatter, maybe a little bit less volume. But we'll see how it comes up. I'm going to let these air dry, and then I will check in tomorrow when they are fully dry so that I can take these down with y'all and we can actually see the results together. Alrighty, y'all, I'm back. It's the same day. As you can see, the sun is setting, if not set. So I'm actually going to take down my hair. It is not completely dry, but because it is no longer incredibly humid in Dallas anymore, I'm going to stretch my hair. I also want to do a little length check since it's been a while. So let's undo these twists. I'm not going to separate them as I go. I'm just going to undo the twist and then I'll stretch and separate. And I will say though, my hair feels pretty good, and I do think it did dry faster, which is a plus of this mousse. So at least right now, I don't have any complaints. I know when I was installing the twists, I was talking a lot about my engagement and all the things. And there is one thing that I did want to touch upon, and that's just the fact that I think, and I've heard some people talk about this, which I honestly kind of brushed off. I didn't think it would really apply. But getting engaged does change the dynamic of your friendships, and not necessarily in the way that you would think. So at least for me, it hasn't been bye y'all, I have my man, I have my husband, don't need friends anymore. Never been that type of girl. But in a different way, getting engaged kind of did show me who is really rooting for me and who is in my corner, and maybe those that aren't at least outwardly rooting for me. It's been interesting just to see how certain people have reacted to my engagement, and that's not to say that they weren't happy or aren't happy for me. It might just be that they didn't necessarily express their external happiness. And that's no shade to them, nothing like that. But I do think when you do decide to marry someone and to ultimately start a whole future and a new life with someone else, a life that you two share together, it does make you just take, at least it's caused me to take an additional look at some of those friendships. And I think that's natural. I don't think all of the friends that we make are meant to kind of last forever. Some may just be seasonal, and I think that's okay and healthy and natural, but that isn't necessarily something that I had prepared myself for, because I don't have like a lot of acquaintances. All the people in my life are people that I consider good friends, close friends. And so that has just been like really interesting to see, and just made me think, okay, in this next chapter of my life, I am just trying to be like really cognizant of who is there for me, who shows up for me, because I think that one like nice thing about Christianity and like getting married in the church and things like that is that ideally the people around you who are there when you take your vows and you make your promise in front of your community and the Lord are also to hold you accountable throughout your marriage. And so it is just making me just take like mental note, which isn't to say that I like won't still be friends with these people or anything like that, but it's just been kind of interesting to see that play out, because I didn't think I would be the person that's like, I got married and lost 5 friends. And I'm not saying that's the case, but it's just been kind of interesting to see. So this is my hair. I'm actually going to leave these 2 in, but this is how it's looking. It's like crazy defined and super soft. So I'm going to stretch my hair, see what type of length we're working with, and then I will close out this video. Alrighty, y'all. I have stretched my hair. Like I mentioned, I'm leaving these in. I tried to stretch this so that it was a little bit more even. Let me take this out. I look like Lord Farquaad. I am thoroughly impressed with this product. So let me just say that my hair feels so good. And I think before I just needed a leave-in. So I'm very glad that I gave it a second try. One thing that I have been doing with my hair lately, because I've been not stretching my hair and I have not been separating my hair as much as I like used to. So I'm gonna keep that going and just separate these a little bit, but not a lot, because I don't want to disturb it too much. Like this curl definition, oh, I'm so happy. Alrighty, y'all, this is the final look of my hair. I love how it came out. Like, I'm shocked. I also haven't seen my hair at this length in months, so I'm thoroughly enjoying it. But if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all next time.